Hello, hello, second sim. So, in the earlier portion, I've already discussed about the Act 3, Scene 1. So, the latter part I'm going to discuss today. So, in the last part, we have reached Rome. That means both Faustus and Mephistopheles, they have reached Rome. Now, what happens in Rome? I'm going to discuss that. Now, Mephistopheles is saying to Faustus, "Here's Faustus, I have brought you there, and as we shall not remain without a proper lodging, I have taken possession of the Pope's private chamber for our use." Now, they came to Rome. Now, the thing is that where they are going to stay? Mephistopheles is saying that we are going to take shelter in Pope's private chamber. And Faustus is saying that I hope the Pope will be happy to receive us. Faustus is saying that the Pope will be very much happy to receive both of us in his private chamber. And after that, Mephistopheles replies, he says that, "What does that matter, man? We shall prove during enough to compel him to be hospitable to us." He's saying he will be compelled and he will be very much hospitable towards us. And now, my dear Faustus, I shall tell you what Rome contains. That means he is going to describe about the particular city that is Rome, so that you may see all those sights and draw pleasure from them, because we all know that Rome is a very beautiful city, and Mephistopheles is going to describe about Rome to Faustus. He says that the city stands upon seven hills. That means the city stands upon seven hills where we serve as a support for the foundation of the city. That means this particular seven hills, it support the foundation of the city. Exactly through the middle of the city flows the river Tiber. That means the river Tiber divides the city into two halves. Tiber, whose zigzagging banks divide into two parts. That means the river Tiber is in a zigzag position. There are four impressive bridges bending over the river. There are four bridges over the river, and these bridges make it possible for people to go safely to every part of the city. That means through these bridges, each and every people can go to each and every corner of the city. Now, one of these bridges is called Ponte Angelo, on which it built a castle exceedingly strong. That means this particular bridge has got a castle, and the castle is very much strong. Within the walls of the castle is a plentiful store of guns and cannon of very high caliber. That means in this castle, the Romans, they stored their arms, you can say the guns and the cannons. Like the cannon have frames of carved brass. The number of these cannons is equal to the number of days in one whole year. Now you see the number of the cannons. The castle has several gates. This particular castle has got several gates, and there are high obelisks which Julius Caesar brought from Africa. Now, Julius Caesar, you know, the emperor of Rome, he brought it from Africa. And what do you mean by obelisks? Obelisks means like an obelisk is a tapering, it was a tapering tower of stone. It's a tapering tower of stone which Julius Caesar had bought from Africa once upon a time. Now, Faustus is replying to Mephistopheles. I swear by the kingdom ruled by the devil, and by the river of heads, namely Styx, Archeron, and the ever-burning fiery Platicotron, that I have a strong desire to see the monuments and the layout of the brilliantly magnificent city of Rome, because we all know that Rome is very much famous for its building, and Faustus is having a great desire to have a view of all this building and get lots of pleasure. Come, therefore, let us move away from here. So Faustus is saying to Mephistopheles, come on, let us move away from here, this particular place, and visit the city properly. But Mephistopheles interrupts and says to Faustus, no, Faustus, wait. I know that you will be glad to see the Pope and to take a share in St. Peter's Holy Feast. I said to you about the St. Peter's Holy Feast, and Mephistopheles is very much interested to participate with Faustus in this Holy Feast. And this feast you will see, he's saying that this feast you will see, there will be a large number of bald-headed friars. That means friars means the monk. That means lots of bald-headed friars will be attending this particular feast. for whom the chief delight in life is to eat good food. Now he's criticizing the monk. That means the monk's main intention is to eat food, lots of food during this feast, and to eat it to their fill. That means they will eat to their throat, you can say. Now Faustus is saying, well, I shall be happy to have some fun at their cost and to enjoy the entertainment which their stupidity may provide. He's saying, okay, then let's enjoy out here. To that end, I would like you to put a spell on me so that I may become invisible and do what I please. Now, he's requesting, Faustus is requesting to Mephistopheles that you do one thing with your magical charm, that so that I will be totally invisible when I visit this particular place without being seen by anybody, and nobody can see me, and we will have lots of entertainment out here during my stay in Rome. That means till I stay in my room, I should be totally invisible. That means he is requesting Mephistopheles to do it. So Mephistopheles, he puts a spell on him and Faustus become totally invisible. Mephistopheles, I have done it, Faustus. Come on, now you're totally invisible. You have now become invisible. You may do whatever you please. Now, Faustus, whatever you want, you can do it because you are totally invisible. Nobody can see you. Nobody will be able to see you, Faustus. I have done my work. So in the meantime, the trumps is blown, entered the Pope and the Cardinal of Lorraine to the banquet. You know the banquet, it's a big hall which we have take our dinner or big kind of conferences with fairies and attendants. So everybody have gathered there to enjoy St. Peter's feast. So there we find Pope. Now Pope is saying, my Lord of Lorraine, will it please you to move a little closer? So Pope is saying to the Cardinal of Lorraine that I would be very much thankful to you if you be please closer to me. And Faustus replies that start eating, and may the devil suffocate you if you do not eat enough food. So Faustus, in the meantime, we know that Faustus is totally invisible, but he's uttering some word, but the words can be heard by all of them. So he's saying start eating. Immediately after that, the devils are going to suffocate you. So Pope hears this word which Faustus utters. So he said, the Pope says, what does this mean? Who was it that spoke? Who was that person who spoke near my ears? Friars, look about and find out who was speaking. He's saying to the monks, look about who is saying this type of naughty things. First fairy, now we find lots of more fairy out here. So the first fairy is saying that, the first fairy, there is nobody here, if it may please your holiness. So the Pope, again Pope addressing the Cardinal of Lorraine, my lord, here is a delicious dish that was sent to me by the Bishop of Milan. So he is producing, or he is supplying a dish to the Cardinal of Lorraine and saying that it has been sent by the Bishop of Milan. Faustus is saying, I am thankful to you for this, sir. So immediately when the Pope was trying to hand over the food to Cardinal of Lorraine, Faustus, what he does, he snatches away the food from the Pope. And Pope, who is this? What is this? Who snatched this dish of meat from my hand? So he was totally surprised because he can see nobody out there. But the dish was a dish of meat from his hand had been totally vanished, and it has been taken away by Faustus. Will nobody look about and find that fellow who has taken my dish? Who has taken my dish? He is going on shouting and shouting, again addressing the Cardinal of Lorraine. My lord, this other dish was sent to me by the Cardinal of Florence. Now again another dish was supplied by Pope to the Cardinal, to Cardinal of Lorraine, and he says that this has been sent by Cardinal of Florence. Faustus, again, you have spoken the truth. I shall have this dish. Now again Faustus, he snatches away this particular dish too. Pope, what? The other dish has also been snatched away from me? He is shouting and shouting. He is saying the other dish has also been snatched away from me. My lord, I will drink from this cup to your grace. Now after that, the Pope gave a cup of wine to the Cardinal. And you see what happens. Faustus, I will drink to your grace. And Faustus again, he snatches away the cup of wine from the Cardinal. And Cardinal of Lorraine says that. And after that, the Cardinal of Lorraine says that, my lord, perhaps it is some ghost, as if some ghost has appeared over here in your chamber. Just come out steadily from purgatory. the ghost may have come to seek pardon of his sins from your holiness. He's saying as if the ghost has come to ask for pardon because the ghost has committed lots of sin, and for that he has come here for your forgiveness. So the Pope is saying it may be possible. Fred is get ready for funeral service in order to soothe this ghost and to make him go to his rest in the cave. So they are going to some funeral rites so that the ghost go away to its original place. Now, to the Cardinal of Lord and my Lord, I would come once ask you to start eating. So he's saying, please, the Pope is saying to the Cardinal, please you start eating. The Pope makes the sacred sign of the cross. So in the meantime, the Pope, he makes a sacred sign of the cross which the Christians do. And Faustus gets very much irritated, you know. What are you making the sacred sign of the cross? Well, I would advise you not to repeat this trick. Now Faustus is saying or threatening to the Pope, don't do it again. You have done once, okay, but don't do it next time. The Pope once again makes the sign of the cross. Again, the Pope does for the second time. So, Faustus is saying, well, you have made the sign of the cross for the second time. I now give you a timely warning not to make this sign for the first time. So don't do it for the third time. So don't do it for the third time. But the Pope makes the sign of the cross again. Whereupon Faustus give him a blow on the ear. So Faustus is very much irritated. He was saying to him, don't make the sign of cross. But Pope was not listening. And in the meantime, Faustus gives a tight blow in his ear. The Pope and the other now ran away. Now everybody, they are running here and there. So after that, Faustus says to Mephistopheles, come on Mephistopheles, what should we do now? What can we do now? What we are going to do? He's asking to Mephistopheles, and Mephistopheles replying to him, I do not know what we should do. I think that the Pope will use the bell, the book and the candle in order to excommunicate us. That means he is going to use some religious rites so that we go away from here, and going to use the bell and the candle. Faustus, how? Bell, book and candle. Candle, book and bell. I will make use of these things in order to damn me and send me to hell. That means the Pope is going to use these things and send me to hell. That means I will be damned. Soon you shall hear a pig grunt. So he is saying, Faustus is saying, immediately you are going to see a pig grunting, a calf bleat, and a donkey bray, because it is Saint Peter's Day. So Faustus is saying all these things to Mephistopheles. So as we know that they are going to do some ceremonial rites. So re-enter all the friars to sing the funeral services. Okay, so they are going to sing in a chorus the funeral services, so that this both Faustus and Mephistopheles, they disappear from here. So the first fairy, what he says, come brethren, let us perform our duty with proper solemnity. Let's do. That means they are going to sing in a chorus. Cursed be that gave Friar Sandillo a blow on the head. So he's saying that person should be cursed who gave a tight blow on the head of our Pope. Again saying, cursed be he that disturbs our holy ceremony. Again cursing the same thing. Who disturbs our holy ceremony, he should be cursed. Again, cursed be he that snatched away his holiness cup of wine. Again, in the same way, may the Lord curse him. That means they wanted to curse, or they are cursing through their chorus. And may all the saints curse him. After that, they say Amen. So it was in a chorus, so cursing Mephistopheles as well as Faustus. So Mephistopheles and Faustus beat the friars. So they beat here and there and throw crackers. So they're also using crackers. That means they're enjoying very much with them. Crackers among them. Then they all disperse and leave. So all the fairies, Pope and whoever was attending that feast, they move here and there. And Mephistopheles and Faustus also moves out from the scene. So this was Act 3. I have already discussed. So if you have any problem, you can ask me. Thank you very much. Stay fine, stay happy, stay at home. Thank you.